morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Mariam, I'm the latest guide, the emotional wellness guide, every Friday, talking about the things that money cannot buy, but which makes life worth living, your emotions. Um, Ladies Guide as a channel, just to remind, Ladies Guide as a channel talks about your emotional wellness. It's a relationship and emotional wellness channel. A place where you're going to find all these solutions that cause a lot of your emotional turbulence in the mind, the questions that you're having in life, those simple little things that everyone needs to know, but we don't actually teach them in school. So when it comes to love affairs, it is your personal responsibility to look for those answers. No school will teach you how to love, how to date, how that is a deeper perspective. Yet these are the matters that affect our other sectors of life. Okay? So life is emotional, life is physical, life is social, life is spiritual, and life is financial. So, knowing which dimension to operate in and which one needs a solution is your personal responsibility. So, then on this channel, we only give you the physical, the social, and the emotional wellness. Okay, that's what you're going to find on the Ladies Guide channel. Previously, we talked about long distance relationships. We gave an introduction to long distance relationships and we talked about the advantages and the disadvantages of long distance relationships. So we said long distance relationship is a kind of relationship where you're separated geographically with your better half, your spouse, your partner. It is distance that separates the two people, but the heart is closer than ever. Learning about how to conduct long distance relationships is very important because that is how many of you who are going to be conducting the long distance will learn the few tips on how to make things work. Don't forget, long distance relationship is part of the relationship cycle. Not everybody that you love must be in your physical location or in your proximity. You may fall in love with someone at a distance and it really works out more than the people in your social setup. So, among the advantages, we said long distance relationships fosters emotional connection. You have more time for leisure. Personally, if you're in long distance, it's actually as if you're single. Isn't that amazing? Because each one of us likes that kind of independence. So, long distance also teaches you to be patient. Yes, it gives you the attributes that everybody learns to be patient in love. Yet in the physical, people are actually impatient. Yet in the long distance, you have to be patient with your partner because you have different time zone and different schedules. We say there is less arguments because you're not physically in the same location, and a lot of things we talked about. If you miss, please go to the channel Mariam Naguja, the Ladies Guide. Type long distance relationship. This video will be available to you in the search engine on the YouTube channel. So we also talked about the disadvantages of long distance. We said it creates a relationship gap because of lack of physical intimacy and the physical touch, because physical touch fosters emotional connection faster when somebody is talking to you face to face. So there is always a relationship gap. We say there is extreme loneliness at times when you want to talk to your partner. There's something burning you want to tell them, but then they're not available. Then we said also it long distance relationships is filled with betrayal. People get surprised that the people they trusted in long distance actually may marry somebody else, and that's betrayal. So there is also a lot of jealousy in long distance because each one of us fail to trust the other. If we are the distance, can I really trust you? So it becomes a question of whether you can trust your partner or not. So in long distance, there's a lot of mistrust and it creates jealousy. So we said a lot of things about the disadvantages of long distance. So it is your personal choice to either choose long distance or to not do long distance based on the advantages we talked about and the disadvantages we talked about. So if you missed, please go to the search and get that long distance advantages and disadvantages video. And then this, what you're going to say today, is going to be actually very meaningful. Don't forget to subscribe in case it is your very first time on the Ladies Guide channel, because here we give solutions, real-time solutions. That was said, before we dive into the session, I need to remind you that we have the Emotional Intelligence Masterclass. Now we're studying social. psychology, body language. Many of these signals go missing. People see them, but they don't pay attention to the non-verbal cues we send from time to time without actually knowing it when you're trying to communicate something else. So, body language is a topic we're having right now. I keep reminding you that if you missed indeed, because my students are having a very wonderful time. Imagine somebody studying social psychology that you don't need people to talk, you don't need to hear words. You look at the bodily actions and you make your own conclusions because the body doesn't lie. When there is a conflict between the mind and the body, what you're saying and what you're thinking are not in congruency. The body betrays you. That is where we are in the Emotional Intelligence Masterclass. So if you're interested, the class, we are now going to be registering new people for the upcoming year who are going to be in the Emotional Intelligence Masterclass. Just to remind you, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the study of the human when their emotions and your emotions must come into congruency for you to make a better relationship. You must study other people's emotions. You must study yourself to be socially accommodating to many things. Because when you don't study the social animal called man and you're living with them day in, day out, you are the problem. So in the class we believe, it begins with you. You first know who you are. It takes self-awareness first before you go to be social aware. Okay? So emotional intelligence takes social awareness, self-awareness, relationship management. Yes, that is where we are. So everybody who is a leader, wherever you are, and you don't have emotional intelligence, there's something you're missing. You'll be lied to, you'll be betrayed, you'll be surprised at many things people do because you lack the social intelligence to study the human animal called man. And that's what I'm teaching my students currently. Um, that well said, let's just dive into the session how to make long distance relationships work. How do you make that long distance thing work for you? Please try it out. Don't think that everybody you're going to fall in love will be in your vicinity. If you find love in Australia, enjoy it. Love is one thing that comes without knocking and it leaves without saying bye. So if you find it in another country, if you find it in another culture, if you find it in another environment, if you find it at a distance, enjoy love the way it does come. Okay? So now we are catering for those who are in LDRs, the ones whose heart is beating from the States when they're in Kenya, whose heart is just palpitating in India when they're in Scotland, when the person you love is at a geographical distance. So let's look at number one. In long distance, to make it work, learn to manage your expectations. Learn to manage expectations in love. Not only even in long distance, even in the physical relationships. With managing expectations, every time we fall in love, I have personal expectations, you have personal expectations. The things we think are the ideals that if it happens, I will have lived because that's the reason we fall in love. So in long distance, because expectations are the termites of the relationship, there is something I expect from you, but I didn't say it. I expect you to know that you're not supposed to hang out with other men in my absence and people take pictures of you and they send them to me. I expect you to know that. Yet you may not know. I mean, you hang out with your male friends and it's hurting me. You're hanging out with your female friends, it's hurting me. So managing expectation means discuss with your spouse, discuss with your partner earlier on in the relationship before even you start the long distance thing. Tell them your weaknesses. I am friendly to men. Men are my best friends. It's the biggest number. So darling, when you see me out there with the men laughing, none of them is my partner. You're the one. So if someone takes a pic and they send, he is already aware of it. They know that this person is a male friend thing. I like partying. I always be at the parties on the weekend. Tell them before. Even in the physical relationships, learn to discuss your expectations. Don't expect your partner to know what you want because expectations are the termites of relationships because they keep on eating when you don't know. So when the day comes and someone sends pictures or somebody gets you in a mess and they say, so this is what you've been doing. You move at night, you're always partying, you're always with friends, you're always with the opposite sex friends, everything takes in return. Therefore, manage your expectations by communicating early in the relationship. It will work out. Number 2, how to make long distance relationships work for you and your partner. Create similarities. Create similarities. Just like physical relationships where we are in proximity, it's the same thing. When people in love have many differences than similarities, a relationship may not work out. May not work out. Why? When people have a lot to talk about, when we have a lot of information to share, we have a lot of things to gossip about, we have a lot of books to read together, movies shared, we have a lot of conversations. You see, conversations create emotional connection because I look up to talking to you at some time. Remember, we are on phone. You're at a distance. We're on Skype. We're on a video call. We are on a WhatsApp call. What are we going to talk about? Not only business. No. So shared similarities can help a long distance work. Recommend books. If you read a book like maybe Ladies Guide, tell your partner about it. I read a book called Ladies Guide. Oh, there's something this lady is saying. Have you read the book before? No, check it out. So as you're having a discussion with this person, you've read the same book, you will emotionally connect. Watch similar TV shows. Watch the same movies. When you watch a movie which is so interesting, recommend it to your partner, just like a friend. You have longer conversations. That's how relationships get bonded together. So, common topics in your conversation will create that emotional connection. Every time your partner is talking to you, you have something to talk about. Shared experiences, shared everything. If there is World Cup, talk about it. If there is, share some similar values. It will keep the relationship glued together. Number 3, avoid excessive communication. Excessive communication. Just like physical relationship, when it comes to love, less is more. When it comes to love, I repeat, less is more. Too much communication, too much spamming of messages, too much, demand of where your partner is becomes nagging. Becomes possession. You're being possessed by the partner. It becomes abuse. So if you on long distance relationship, we think that when you overcall our partners and we call, we are trying to bridge the gap of distance, but it doesn't work. Remember, this person has a life of their own. They may be at the gym, they may be at the workplace, they may be with a friend, they may be in a business meeting, on a business trip, and you're flooding them with many phone calls. For everything you've seen, you become idle and nagging. So then, we believe that less is more when it comes to communicating on long distance. Draft a time when you're supposed to call somebody. If it is once a day, twice a day, keep at that. Don't over spam their phone calls. They get tired of you. Just like a physical relationship where you bombard somebody with your presence all the time they're seeing you, they really get tired of you. That is the rule of long distance. So excessive communication is like excessive visits. When you visit your neighbor so oftenly, they grow tired of you. So in relationships, less is more. You must control the rate at which you communicate with your partner. Don't overcall, but don't less call. Don't over send messages, but don't over less send messages. There must be a balance between the communication. Okay? So always remember, when it comes to love, less is more. Don't overgive, but don't undergive. That's how it works. Balance the whole thing. Number 4, how to make long distance relationships work in your life. When your love is at a distance, when the heart is beating in the Mediterranean Sea, when it is just there and you're waiting for it to come back one day. Number 4, live responsibly. Live responsibly. You see, previously we had a topic on emotional infidelity where people create love when they don't even know that they're creating love. Love is created by accident. A man gets cooks like a frog. I told you in the ladies' guide to fulfilling relationships and to happiness. How do you cook a man? They cook him like a frog. Keep adding firewood, and when the frog is ready and can't jump out of the pot. That's how love is created. Love is comes so softly. So most of you on long distance create love affairs and you cheat on your partners without even knowing it. Because you're trying to find a relationship to share with physically, you want to talk to somebody, and little by little the frog is getting cooked. Hmm? Before you realize you've forgotten your partner, before you realize the phone calls are no longer coming in, before you realize you're too busy with this person that you don't have their time. So live responsibly means that you must watch when somebody is trying to create emotional connection and you break it. That part is called emotional intelligence. When somebody is trying to create emotional connection and you say, wait a minute, I'm being cooked like a frog. This is creating a feeling called love, and I'm likely to forget my wife in the USA. Stop. This is creating love, and I'm likely supposed to forget my husband in India. Stop. You protect them because you have an understanding. You have an agreement between the two of you. Someone chose to go at a distance to study, to work. You stayed and you promised them to be with them one time in the future. So let not this physical interaction with newcomers distract you on the long-term goal of the loved one. So then, you must live responsibly. Avoid friendships which are so deep that are going to create love when you don't know. Avoid being entangled in love affairs and you think you're going to run away from it when that person comes back. It may not be possible. So staying out late, serial dating, over drinking, all those things kill the long distance relationship. When someone discovers that, oh, my colleague, I'm not around, but she's always at parties, drinking like a nothing. And people are telling me that, oh, your wife is really drunk all the time. Really? It may not be a life of responsibility. Just to remind you, I told you that how does love create? How does a frog get cooked in love? How do people cook each other to fall into what they call the love emotion? Constant communication, proximity, and shared values. Full stop. Do you want to fall in love with someone? Just do those three things. It doesn't matter how they look. Just constantly communicate with them, be in their distance, proximity all the time, and share a value. Share a vision. That's love. Love is not a feeling that comes from nowhere. We create it. We create it. We can choose to stop it or to continue it. It is a mental game. So if you have a long distance partner and you fall in accidental love with a physical person, it may be very difficult to continue the other affair on the distance. So then, protect yourself from physical affairs which create love as a feeling in you because it's going to distract your mind from continuing the long distance affair. As simple as that. So, how is love created? Three things: proximity, constant communication, and shared vision. You don't want love? Don't do those three things. Stop it. It will run away. So love is not something that people see and they just fall in it like what you think. You can grow in it, you can outgrow it by the power of the mind. So those who think that I just look at her and I fell in love, you didn't fall in love. You created similarities. You communicated constantly, and then you're in their proximity. The distance. When people are so near each other, it creates feelings. Because when you're near me, that's when I see all the good things on you. Maybe my partner may not be having them. And then I'm like, wow, I think I need to change my decisions now. That's how that comes about. So number 5, before we continue, just to remind you, programs that we have right now and which are going to be upcoming in 2024. Discover your life purpose. Yeah. New entrants, that's Jan. Emotional intelligence masterclass, that's Jan. Love lover. Love lover for beginners, those in courtship, those in long-term relationship, those who are tired. I told you, love lover, we are going to learn the effects of love on each one of you. Now it's you to tell us. Not me. This time I'm not talking. You're going to be doing the talking. So, love lover is a concept that's going to tell you how do we come about all this? How did you get the children you're having? How did you become a single mom? How did you become a single dad? How did it end in divorce? How did it? Because love brings a lot of things, just like the lava in the mountain. When it is it's boiling, something is happening. But when at the end of it all, it comes with a lot of things. Some good, some bad. So love lover is going to be a project where we're going to be focusing on beginners of love, those who have not been in it and they're scared, those who are in it and they are in the turmoil, those who are actually tired of it but don't want to leave, and those who are actually out of it. So love lover is a concept to help you understand more that love brings good and bad, but either way, it's an experience everyone has to go through. Then we have a teen girls guide for the teenagers, the young adults, and their parents. Yeah, I think that's what I have for you. And we are really cooking a lot for you. That's why I had to download it before it comes. But most importantly, love lover. We have something for you. Don't miss it out. So, number 5, how to make long distance relationships work. Know each other's schedule. Know each other's schedule. Just like a physical relationship, we have different schedules. You have a life, I have a life. I told you there is individuality in love, whether married or single or courtship. You have a life, I have a life. So I have a schedule I'm running, you have a schedule running. What joins us is the heart. So even on long distance, a partner may have a life of their own. And you're not supposed to be interrupting every time because you need to talk to them in your own time. So it is better for you guys to discuss events in your life, small or big. If you're having exams, tell your partner we're having an exam on Wednesday. If you are in an interview, a job interview, tell them, oh, I'm having a job on Monday. If you have a business trip, we have it on Saturday. Always fill the schedule in the mind of your partner so that at that particular time, they don't disturb calling you. Because when you see a call and you're in a job interview, this is attention. It is calling for your attention. Yet, actually, it may not even be important at the time. So then, learn to download your schedule to your partner and tell them exactly what is happening, at what time, when. They may not be communicating at that topic. That's the best thing you can do. Which means, I don't call you when you're having a job. Yeah, I'm aware that you're having a job interview. Isn't that beautiful? Than me calling, you're not picking, and I'm thinking, she didn't pick my call, or she switched me off. That is rude enough. It may not be, very good. So control the attention by avoiding communicating at wrong time. So you as a long distance practitioner, learn to communicate your schedule to your partner. It will help you so much. So number 6, how to make long distance relationships work is gifting creates memories. Now again, I'm back to gifts. When I come to gifts, I just want to talk forever. Love and gifting move together. I love you means I give me a gift. Oh what, I don't know. Small or big. A gift, I will repeat again, is a representative of you to another person. Every time I look at the watch, I remember who gave it to me. Every time I look at this necklace, it's engraved, Ladies Guide. I just remember who gave me this necklace, who gave me these earrings, who gave me these glasses. Everything is a gift. So gifts create memories. You're not being duped. You're fostering yourself in the mind of your partner that, please, wherever you are, I am with you. This is a gift. I'm always remembering. So meaning that when you're on a long distance, somebody is not seeing you. You're not there physically. Let a gift represent you. So that whenever they are thinking about you. It may be a necklace, it may be a watch, it may be a wall paint, it may be a dress, it may be a shirt, but something which is tangible and they can forever remember it. Okay? So gifting creates memories in long distance relationship, not only in long, even in our physical relationships. A person only says I love you, but you have nothing to represent them that represents them. But this is something they gave me to show love. They are not romantic. I don't find that romantic. I don't want people to say that that's not my language, love language. Gifting is a love language, a universal one. So everyone must give gifts, must. Because I told you, it says I'm here for peace. A gift says remember me. I remember you. I value you. You mean a lot to me. It is romantic. There's nothing as romantic as a gift. There's nothing as romantic as a gift. So much as I'm not seeing you, please send physical representation of who you are. So that every time I think about you, I see this necklace, I think about you. I see the watch, I think about you. It means it is thoughtful. They've thought about you. So then, every time you're on long distance, learn to give your partner gifts. Deliver them. I told you have a program in Valentine's Day. Giving is love in action. We actually pack the gifts for you. You don't need to be here if you're in the diaspora. You just give us the number of your loved one. We send the delivery man. They deliver the gift. You don't need to move. You don't need to move. Then the person receives it. And they say, oh, she's thoughtful. He's thoughtful. He is thinking about me. What other love do you need? Stop thinking that love is A3X alone. No. A3X is not love. It is use. Before you go to the icing sugar of the cake, take care of the cake first. That's how it works. So no gifts, no love. Number 7, embrace special days. Embrace special days. This is like gifting again. Because you people are at a distance, you don't see each other, but there's those special days that you may call special for you and your loved one. Valentine's Day, wedding anniversaries, birthdays for the kids, your birthdays. You know, you must know those things. They create connection. Oh, honey, today is your birthday. Deliver the flowers, wherever they are. It does no extra of saying that you're at a distance. I would have given you it, but I'm far away. We have a program in Ladies Guide where we are giving is love in action. You give us the gift you want, we deliver it to your partner. It will reach in time to that person. So no excuse that you can't deliver gifts because you're very far away and nobody can help you to do that. Let's do the work for you because we help you to share love. Gifting is key and it's love. So remember these special days and celebrate them together with your loved one. Lastly, keep each other updated. Keep each other updated means you must talk about events, scandals, things that happen in your community. Every time you must have a story. All the time you must have a story. Imagine every time when you're talking to your spouse, you have a story. They are looking forward now which story are they going to tell me. So you must be reading news. You must be knowing things in the neighborhood. You must be knowing things in your country. You must update them as if they're in Uganda. Honey, today there was a riot in town. Can you imagine there was a riot? There was tear gas in town. Oh, really? What happened? Check out the news. You must update them. It's life. Let me tell you something, sweethearts. Love is not physical, seeing each other. No, it is the communication between hearts at a distance. The communication is more important than the physical contact. How I feel when I talk with you is how I treat love. You know? So you don't need to be in my vicinity for me to love you. How you update me of events. We gossip about people. Family members, friends, who gave birth, who did what, who is getting married, we gossip. Gossiping is love. You gossip with your loved one. Who else? You must gossip with them. Update them. What's happening? Who is doing what? etc, etc. So give them updates. That is what they call living life. So you're sharing your life now because they're updated. So next time they know where you ended, you start from there. That is love. So love as a four-lettered word is wide. It goes beyond communication, beyond physical intimacy, beyond the heart-to-heart talks, now to communication, updating. Update me. Tell me what is happening. Something has really happened today. Can you believe this? Ta-da! You're emotionally connecting. Okay? So those are some of the 8 tips or simple tips how long distance relationships can survive. There are many, but in the interest of time, we can't give you everything. You will just utilize a few of those and add to the list also. And I wish you a happy, long distance relationship. Just to remind you, distance does not stop love. It is communication, poor communication, less communication, ineffective communication that kills love. Okay? But if you learn how to communicate well, if you learn your partner well, if you update them, if you have a lot of similarities, you give them gifts, you keep in touch with them, you know, when it is controlled, I tell you the truth and I promise you, a long distance relation can work. If you live responsibly, if you respect them, if you remember them, if you put them on your mind as important, trust me, it can really, really work. So no more stories of saying a long distance are very difficult, I can't do it, there's a lot of heartache. No, 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 no. If you do those little steps, you can survive a long distance relationship. Thank you so much for watching this far. And if you find this very useful content, please share the video to your friends and families, because sharing is caring. And also don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If it is your very first time on this channel and you're watching us for the very first time, please subscribe the channel below. It is absolutely free. Click the subscribe button and join the family of Ladies Guide, a world of enlightenment in emotional affairs. Lessons you don't find in school, but you need to know about them. Mariam, I'm the Ladies Guide. Thank you so much.